Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for taking a few minutes for this micro lesson. These are short, practical trainings designed to strengthen your work with refugees and other ORR-eligible community members. My name is Carissa, and I am an associate consultant with Solvera. And today, we're going to be diving into some of the basics about what is Support Guide. Once you really get the lay of the land here on our website Support Guide, we will have following micro lessons that can walk you through two of its most useful tools, the Resource Finder and the Provider Directory. So we'll dive more into depth in those in the future learnings, but today we're just going to be talking about Support Guide in general. All right. So what is Support Guide? SupportGuide.org, you can see here, is the online hub built for the California Newcomer Project, and it exists to make it easier for you to do the work you're already doing. So connecting people to you work with, connecting them to services, connecting your own agency to a wider network of providers, and also connecting you to resources for additional learning and training. So it's built for staff, for volunteers, and for clients themselves. Anyone with internet access can use it because you don't need a login to search it. You don't need a login to access this information. But we will talk about in the future about the provider directory and how a login will help you with that. But this is a free online hub for you, for clients, for volunteers. So what is in Support Guide? Up on the main menu, you'll see we have our home, that's where we're at. And we have our provider directory, the resource finder, learning, and Ukrainian support, which is an older project that we did at the initial beginning of the California Newcomer Project. So first on our homepage, you'll see supportguide.org, and our whole point is connecting refugees and providers to resources. And on here, you can also scroll down and it will be similar to our main menu where you see you have the provider directory, information and resources, the skill building webinars, and micro lessons. And then as you scroll to the bottom, you'll see a spot where you can get our latest updates and resources through submitting your email for our monthly newsletter, which has a lot of great information and shares what's going on in Support Guide and how you can be involved. So as we scroll back up to the top, let's click on to Provider Directory. Here, as it says, now more than ever, knowing where to go matters. And so this is where you can go to find a specific agency or search by service or location to connect a client with the right provider or to connect your agency with a partner, perhaps. So as you scroll down, you can quickly see that you can filter the provider directory based on counties. We have an interactive map where you can move and see agencies in different locations. And then also you can search for individual providers. You can filter by agency type, whether it's a faith-based organization, legal service provider, a resettlement agency. You can click and filter them. And then, like we mentioned, you can filter by services. So if you're looking for a place that has employment services and you're really looking for an organization that does tax support. And then as you click that, it'll filter it even further. Okay, next on Support Guide is our Resource Finder. So the Resource Finder is great because you can also submit resources here to share with the broader community across California. But this is where you can go to learn and research and engage with all different resources that are here. So there are numerous resources here, but finding the ones you need when you need them can be a daunting task. So we've curated this list here and that you can filter it similar to the provider directory as well. So you can filter for resources that are best for clients and community or for service providers, or you can do it based on the topic, anything from, like we mentioned earlier, employment, or if you wanted to look for policy updates or information on utilities. So it just filters it even further. And additionally, you can filter it for county-specific resources as well. So I'll go ahead and show you some of the resources that are on here. So for example, we have the public charge rule, what you need to know. If you click visit resource, it'll open up directly to the resource with the information that you might be looking for. And then if we go back, you can also see that we have one for overview of common data collection methods. And it goes straight to the resource as well. Switchboard is a great place for information as well. And you can also see here OR's core motivational interviewing skills. If you visit that resource, it shows a downloadable phone background, so you can keep this information close to you when you're working in the field. So these are all a variety, these are just a few of the variety of resources that are available on supportguide.org. All right, so we've done the provider directory, resource finder. Now let's look at learning. We can first look at webinars. This is where our learning section is where we keep our webinars and our micro lessons live. So including the one that you're watching right now, we are on the supportguide.org. You found us here. And if you ever wanted to revisit a previous lesson or catch up on a past webinar or see what's coming up next, this is where you go to look for that. So as you scroll down, you can see the registration button for our next webinar. And right now you can scroll down further and see all the information about past webinars and resources. So this gives you a little bit more information about the agency learning and support series that we're doing currently. And all of these webinars have been a part of that. So we've done webinars from maximizing impact to psychological first aid, building bridges, talking about collaboration in the community. And we've recently been doing a few on motivational interviewing. As you click one of these, it'll bring you to the page where you have the recording, the slides, and other resources for the topic that we were doing in that webinar as well. All right. So those are webinars that we have on there, and they get updated whenever we have new ones. And then we also have our micro lessons. So like I said, at the beginning of this one, we have micro lessons because they're short, accessible training that you can watch and learn something practical right away. So here we have all of our previous micro lessons, from tips for motivational interviewing, self-care and community care, addressing unconscious bias, and if you can also load more, and it keeps going with our great library of resources. So if you click on one that says watch lesson, it'll take you to the page. So this one is the importance of pronouncing names correctly. And again, you can see the recording here and all the additional resources that go with that topic. All right. So this is supportguide.org. Like I mentioned, I briefly went over provider directory and resource finder. You will be able to see future trainings on both of those topics a little bit further in. And I just wanted to say this is a great place to search instead of having to hunt across dozens of websites or relying on word of mouth. It saves you time in your day that I know are already very full. And when your agency's information is accurate and complete in the directory, it also makes it easier for other providers and for clients to find your organization. So, to recap, Support Guide is your California Newcomer resource hub. It's divided into these three main sections: provider directory, resource finder, and learning. And it's available to you and your team and to clients at any time. Thank you again for watching the micro lesson on supportguide.org. We are thankful for the work that you are doing each and every day in your community. And we would love to hear your feedback on these micro lessons and just in general about the California Newcomer Project. Feel free to scan the QR code on your screen. Thank you again from Silvera, your partner in Impact.